At the end of this El Nino winter, we're starting to get some really interesting weather patterns. I mean, when is the weather not interesting? But the fading El Nino is doing some interesting things. Little snap of cold air coming into the northern plains this weekend, just as quickly moving out. The polar jet stream got this really peculiar little dippity-doo, which will be very cold, but a fairly narrow area of cold weather over the eastern U.S., while some California mild stuff this week starts floating into parts of the northern plains and gives many areas a break from the cold. The cold will linger around the Great Lakes, stormy weather possible along the eastern seaboard, and as we get toward the end of the week, a little bulge in the jet stream, which is actually eventually going to start turning into a little bit of a west coast bulge, and with the big powerful surge of wind coming in from the Pacific, that is expected to build up. Interesting pattern taking shape for the second week, 21st through the 27th, as that high pressure ridge builds up along the west coast in a big wavy pattern. High pressure west, low pressure east will make it cold around the Great Lakes, stormy is still along the eastern seaboard, and a whole lot of warm, dry weather across the western United States and the western part of Canada. So here's what this means for the actual weather conditions, all right? Here's what we're looking in terms of the forecast. This week, fairly dry weather in the southwest, Pacific Northwest, the usual rainy thing, down to about San Francisco, Southern California. El Nino has not brought much rain. Very dry weather over the southwest. Looks like a pretty big rain system sometime this week in the southeast. And because of the presence of the Arctic air, there will be lots of lake effect snows in the Great Lakes area. And then, of course, along the eastern seaboard, the northeast looks fairly snowy. Here in the northern plains, there will be some scattered areas of light snow, but I don't anticipate any big storms. As we move into the second week with that big high pressure ridge building up out west, a lot of warm and dry weather over the western states. West coast rain will be limited to the far western edge of the coast. There could be some showers, some rains down around LA and San Diego and across parts of the south, but I don't look for anything super heavy. The southeast will continue to be rainy. The Great Lakes will continue to be snowy. Northern Plains area doesn't look like the middle part of February is going to bring much precipitation at all. It is looking fairly dry. Elsewhere around the world, one thing of note, the nice rains will continue for many areas of Central and South America. Brazil in particular looking like it will have some nice rains, and parts of Argentina will be getting a pickup there. Lots of beans down in that area, and the weather's looking pretty good. The main message for the continental United States, dry and warm across the west. Wet weather will continue in the east, around the Great Lakes and the southeast, and along the eastern seaboard, leaving not much going on right in the middle part of the country. Little snow here and there, but not very much.